while we're making those names of all those different pieces, come up with what we call a core sheet. And so I like to do this in Excel. And that's what I was taught it was called when I started working, and I just call it the same thing. And so it's, in this one, it's easy. We have kind of one level of assembly, but we need to figure out what all these are going to be. So we're going to have a column for part name, part number. And so this is probably going to be the side. So I'm going to call it left side, right side. I don't know what, I'm just going to number them because I'm going to make you come up with names. 2. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3, 4, and bar. Right? And then some kind of part number. So easy way is usually they'll have some kind of number for the name of the project, which is going to be the part number for the whole assembly. So I should probably also add in the assembly, right? So the assembly is going to get some random part number, or probably not random, but it's assigned somehow. And then for my parts, I'm going to call them dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So I like to do that in here so that way I can get all that figured out before I start typing it in to Fusion. Just like when we model it, we make a plan. This is the plan for how I'm going to name things. So, and you can even do this before you start modeling. That way, as you create your components, you name them these things, and you don't have to go back and do it again. So we go through, we update all of our component properties for parts we make, as well as all the parts that we imported. Remember, if you change it once on things that are copied, the instance, it's going to update all of them. So if I go in and update I'm not going to tell you my length, but you can see it updates it for all 4 of those, right? Because if you do these 2 and then mirror the screws to the other side, now you're going to have 2 and 2, not 4. So duplicate with your joints, don't mirror them. So do all that, update all your properties, and then make your drawings. So we want a drawing of the assembly drawing itself, and we want to see all of the overall dimensions for this thing. We don't need to see dimensions to where the holes are and all that stuff, because that's going to be shown on the drawing of the part, right? The parts where we tell them how to make that part. The assembly is where we tell them how to put it together. So we don't have to redo dimensions we've already used before, unless it's like an overall size. For purchase parts, so all those screws, don't make drawings of them. Our template's automatically going to make those. Just delete those pages. So when we go in here, we're going to go to the top. Also, make sure you update your properties of your top piece. You're not going to be able to change the name of it. The name is the name of your file. But you can update the part number. So make sure it's that same part number or whatever it is that you made up. Okay? Save it. Make sure you would save. Yeah, make up the McMaster ones, use their part numbers. On your parts, make them up. So now just right click, create a drawing, and use the full assembly and component template. Make sure you tell it all levels just in case, and say OK. And now we wait. by trying to make the drawing using the template. Yep. So, boom, 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 boom. All right. So that piece I want, that piece I want, that piece I want. Those, want that. Oh, I don't need this one. Just hit delete or right click, delete. Don't need that. Oop, that one I may need. I'm going to go back to screw there and just delete all those. I have all these pieces. And so if you drag them, you can change the order of them. So I usually like to have big things first, smaller things later on the list. If I have these two parts, do I need both drawings? What can I do? Yeah, make a note, say, this is the right side, so got the hidden lines, so maybe I'll use the left side because it's got no hidden lines. So I'll say left side shown, right side mirror image. Ta-da, done. Now I can delete this page. Okay, so that way I have there. Then from here, make whatever views are appropriate for these parts. Is this a good setup of this one here? No, what's wrong? I need to see the whole, right? So I need to change this, maybe change that to be bottom. Oh, there we go. That looks better. Do I need this view?
No.
Not really, right? Because I'm going to put a hole note telling you how deep the hole is. This is diameter. Any other view I need, though?
So.
Yeah, I need something showing me the shape of the hexagon, right? So, if I put that here, is that good? Yeah, that's not really a good use of the page, right? So, I put over here, but I put this there, and then it's not doing what I want. Can I just do this? That's definitely not what I want. That's not what I want. So don't try and make a new base view or something somewhere else on it. But I can turn this view, right? So go to rotate, pick the view, click transform, just pick somewhere on it, doesn't matter. And then rotate it 90 degrees. Say okay. Now I can project like that. Now I have a good view. Maybe adjust the scale or whatever, right? So the way I make drawings is I always go through, I look at the sheets, I adjust scales. This is really big and messy because those descriptions are trying to fit in that little box. Once you fix that, it's going to kind of shrink things down a little bit. You can adjust the size of these views, adjust that, move things around if you need to. You can always just take the parts list also. Usually we leave parts list here, but you can always drag it and put it down here if you want to. The usual place, though, is above the title block, but it doesn't have to be there. So figure out where you want those. So I go through and I figure out all my pages, move my views, adjust scale, create details or sections or whatever else I want on each page first. So that page, good, but why is that all up and down? This is weird. No? Oh, the hole's good. This is the end piece. Right. So I need to rotate that and I need to see the hole, right? So yeah, I do need this view, but over here, probably. So I'd do something there. Fix that, you know, make sure everything's the right size, the right scale. And then, so here, probably need to make this top. Maybe rotate it or whatever. So I go through, I fix my views, and then I go back through and start dimensioning. So I work backwards from here, I dimension this one, then move backwards through the pages. It's actually probably better as the bottom view. That way it's a solid circle. Yeah.
So does something that it is quite thick.
Yeah, because this view doesn't really give us much. So yeah, I can make this view bigger.
Everything on
Yeah. Yep. If I pull this here, it's gonna tell me the size of the hole, and I didn't make it through, but just take that off and make it through, right? Yeah, so this view doesn't really, I don't need it. So you can keep it and put a 5mm thickness on, or put a 5mm thickness in the nub. It's up to you. Either way is good. But I mean, you got plenty of sheet space, and this is a pretty small part, so another view doesn't hurt. So, kind of if you want to put it on an A size, then maybe you do want to. Kind of up to you. So decide what size sheet of papers you want, what scale you want them to be, make the views, add dimensions, and then export your PDF. Again, remember, open. And make sure you have that line weights checked. So that way we have thick lines and thin lines. And make sure the saved to my computer is not some big long temporary file. Click on here, put it, in on your desktop. That way, when you save it, hit save, you can actually save the file and reopen it.
You always want to have all sheets.
Yeah,
Correct.
because we want to be able to see all.
Oh yeah.
You want to be able to see all your sheets, and then screenshot them one at a time and turn them in. Make sure your screenshot includes. It doesn't have to include the whole paper, but it includes the whole border. Okay. Make sure you get the whole. Here to here. I want that whole area.
What are those?
So those are for the zone markings. So if you get bigger sheets of paper. So if I told it to be instead of a B, I've told it to be a C. Now those break up the zones.
Oh.
On a B, size are smaller. So a B just gives you the arrows. You're like upper left, upper right, lower left. On an A size, I think it's the same. Because 4 quadrants is enough, but on bigger sheets, then you want to be able to break up into smaller pieces. Any other questions? All right.